And then there's the My Transcript area. Now, this is a great way for students to keep track of their progress. If we have, I believe we do have some certificate courses where students may take a certain number of courses and obtain some type of certificate in, again, cake decorating, or a certificate in fundamentals of French cuisine or Italian cooking. So we can actually customize certificates for our students. And also, there's a way for them to export their transcript. If they need to provide a transcript to their employer to prove that they are taking culinary courses, or just for instructors and faculty advisors, things like that, this is all accessible through the My Transcript area. So this is just a quick overview. I didn't go too much into the online exam process, but again, that's another area of this LMS that would be very beneficial for us, that we can put our exams online, they can be graded online, and all those records can be kept in this central location. So just with that quick overview, hopefully you've seen some of the benefits of a learning management system. I believe that this would be a great thing to move towards here at the Culinary Institute, because learners can access all their online learning materials in one place. They can register for courses, they can take exams, they can check their grades, and they can see important notifications from the school. And it can also be used by staff. So HR can post videos and material that staff needs on staff training, things that normally would require face-to-face meetings and possibly an exam or verification that they completed some type of human resources training. This can actually be done on the learning management system as well. And there's ways to make certain courses only visible to certain groups of learners. So it's really great for the organization as a whole. And another thing just that goes along with effective on-demand training, it must be recreated frequently, meaning you cannot keep stale content online. You can't keep reusing the same thing. And of course, this is very relevant in the culinary world because techniques change. New strategies of doing things are constantly evolving. So the LMS basically makes it easy to replace and update courses. You just, if it's an online course, you just easily can swap out links and update the courses with the click of a mouse, basically. Keep all of our content relevant and basically keep reintroducing new culinary concepts. So another thing I just wanted to focus on that I think might be a great resource for us here, just to increase the collaboration of students and faculty, would be a staff and student wiki, which is a great resource for sharing training information and collaborating, and really just it's also a social network for people. So especially when we're talking about, as I mentioned, many learners who are busy, a little bit disconnected beyond the kitchen cooking component of the training. A lot of them, they leave here and they go to their jobs, they go back to their lives, and they kind of leave the training here in the classroom. They don't get to make these connections. So a wiki is just a really great way. I'm going to go, so I have a screenshot here of a wiki. This is, again, from the same organization, but you can see that it's really fully customizable. This organization chose to have a calendar basically as the focal point of the wiki as you log in, but which I do find to be helpful, and you can put important dates, deadlines, activities that you want your students or faculty to see. And on the left-hand side, there's just a great listing of all the things that you can find here, all the resources, all the different areas of the site. And some of the benefits of a wiki is that it's a shared space for interacting and communicating. It just really lends itself well to collaboration. And it's collaboration that can be done really anytime, anywhere. So it adds to that on-demand blended learning approach where students can approach the learning when they have the time to do it and how they'd like to do it. And it also helps disseminate information. So right now we're relying heavily on email. We're emailing forms, we're emailing information guides, PDFs, instruction booklets. All of that can be posted on the wiki. So it's not necessarily things that would go on the learning management system. That's more related to course materials, but this is a great way if there's a form for tuition reimbursement that a student might need to locate. And normally they'd have to email HR and they'd have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get this information. And the same goes for staff. If staff want some information related to their healthcare, things like that can all be posted on the wiki. It saves time, it saves a lot of staff time answering emails, people looking all over the share drives, and again, it saves space on the servers because this is all basically hosted on the cloud. in the cloud on the website. And again, I mentioned the calendar. The calendar can be a really useful way of keeping students and faculty and instructors all really abreast of what's going on at the Culinary Institute. So I think now we've gone over a couple of our strategies, our major strategies moving towards the future. And I know that we touched on them pretty briefly in terms of how big these projects might be. But I just wanted to now kind of wrap things up with the implementation and change process and what our next steps are. So right now, an immediate need that we have is we need some volunteers from student and faculty to become advisors and join our technology advisory committee. We really want the feedback from our students, and obviously we'll need it from our instructors as we move forward with this huge project of e-learning and blended learning and just moving our content onto our learning management system and onto the wiki and just moving towards the future, moving our organization in this new direction. The LMS project will begin in the next 6 months. Again, we have a lot of what we call discovery to do. The discovery phase will really basically define how we want our LMS to look and what kinds of things we want to be able to do here. Because again, it's a fully customizable software. And the online course and content development, basically we're going to begin that over the next 9 months. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to take 9 months for us to start thinking about this. It's just that we need to decide, again, if we're going to create these courses and this content in-house or if we're going to hire someone else to help us with that project. Again, that's something I'll just kind of work with instructors and the administration here to determine how we want to move forward with that. But once we have the LMS, basically the sky's the limit in terms of what kind of content that we can post there. And again, how we develop that content will be, part of the next phase as we move forward. Then the wiki site is probably the easiest thing that we can kind of do immediately. So again, we want to get that feedback from the Technology Advisory Committee before we move forward with that. But that should probably be live and created in the next 3 months because that's a pretty simple template. Again, it's really just content that's created here or by students. You can basically add new threads, add new content, as long as you have the privileges, which we'll set it up that way. So that should be coming up in the next 3 months. And again, that'll be a great way to kind of help students and instructors collaborate with one another and share information and share valuable resources. So let's just kind of consider that this is a long-term project. This is our technology vision. This is our shared vision as a learning organization. And as technology changes, we're going to have to keep changing with it. So it's not like what I said today is going to really stick for the next 3 years. We may move into an even newer direction in the next year or two. But with this LMS, we'll be able to move in that direction, and it's really going to help us get there. So the next 5 to 10 years and beyond, we're really trying to position ourselves as a leader in the culinary world and the training world here. And these steps will take us there. And some benefits of technology-assisted training, I really hope that I've gone over that in this presentation. I hope you can see how this will be good for the Culinary Institute of Virginia. I'm going to end with a quote that technology contributes to increasing learners' engagement and often provides anytime access to training. So it's just kind of the way we want to think about technology and how we can use it to really just make a better learning experience for our students and really for our instructors too. And I think some main goals and some main things that we can achieve by integrating technology into our training are that we can attract new students. I mentioned this earlier, but such a key component of this project. We want to grow. We want to increase our new talent pool. We want people to want to come here as opposed to other culinary institutes that they might see out there. We want to retain our current students. We want to provide flexibility so that they can fit our courses into their lives and they can afford them and they have the time and they feel engaged and they feel that it's worth continuing to finish their studies with us here. We want to lower tuition costs. That's obviously difficult to do as we move towards these new projects, but really long term, if we cut down on the classroom component, we'll be saving a lot of money. We'll be saving resources, and hopefully we'll be able to provide some lower cost tuition options for individuals. We also hope to be able to expand our course offerings. By creating a platform for online learning, we can actually provide content that might not even actually be hosted here at the Culinary Institute of Virginia. The learning management system, this maybe go a little beyond the conversation, but it allows us actually to host streaming courses that might be taught in another country even. We might be able to link up with another culinary institute in France or in Italy, and we could actually create streaming content that our students could watch, view, and watch on demand later at another date, and we can host it here on our LMS. So we're going to be able to really, the sky's the limit in terms of what we can offer in the future by using technology. And really, we're going to keep creating flexible on-demand programming, anytime, anywhere learning, and we want to just keep up with the competition and really surpass them. So if our competitors are moving towards some online training in addition to their hands-on kitchen training component, we really want to keep up with them, and we really want to surpass them. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for now. I hope that this was a good introduction to you of what direction we're moving towards, and I hope that you're excited to work with me, and I'm excited to work with you and learn more about what your goals are and what you want to bring to this project, because right now we're in such an early phase that we really do need the feedback from the faculty, the staff, the students to make this project successful. And again, it's a long-term project, so we're kind of going to need to keep each other informed and in the loop as we move forward. So I'd like to end with my email address and my phone number, so that if you have questions, suggestions, comments, or any issues with what we discussed today, you can go ahead and contact me at jhoffman@lsinc.com, or call me anytime. My number is listed here on the PowerPoint. And I believe that the staff here is going to post this PowerPoint on your staff website here, so that if anybody needs to reference it later, that they'll be available to access it. So again, I thank you so much for your time. And again, now I'll open it up for any questions or comments that you all might have. But I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today. And I'm very excited for our future here.